All right, so we were trying to write our two equations. The total money equation starts with 21x because $21 for each adult ticket, and then 15y because $15 for each student ticket. So 21x plus 15y is equal to the total money. Your second equation should be about the total tickets. All right, the one about your total tickets, it ends with the total tickets. So it's going to end with equals 102 tickets. Now, we don't know how many adult tickets there are, right? But adult tickets are represented with which variable? Yeah, the x. Okay, so the adult tickets x plus the student tickets y equals our total tickets 102. Okay? Now, we're not going to solve now, but we do know then you would solve the equation, the system. Okay, so you do need to know how to set up a word problem like that, and then you'll solve it. Okay, the next set of word problems we have are not systems. They're about trying to find a maximum from a quadratic, or trying to find a zero, or a point of intersection, and these are all things that we're doing on the calculator. So we're going to read first about this cliff diver who is trying to avoid the jagged rocks. Okay? Now it does say read the entire word problem, make sure you understand the scenario. Write on the word problem, so circle your key numbers or your info, know your units, and draw a picture and label it. So this has a picture for us, and it says the cliff diver has been challenged to dive from a popular cliff, and it's only for the bravest of cliff divers because of the jagged rocks that protrude for half a meter. So if this is 1 meter here, this is like half a meter. It looks like he's going to probably make it. But of course he wants to be a little bit more certain. So this is the equation that his dive follows. And we want to know if he's going to cross, if his x-intercept, which is also called a zero, is it greater than 0.5? So we want to know how far from the cliff does he enter the water. And we're trying to find that zero right there. So what I want you guys to do is go back to your calculator and put this in. Clear out anything else that's in there. So press y equals and clear out the equations that you had. And we're going to put Xavier's equation, negative 16 x squared plus 4x plus 4.5. Okay, and then press graph. And you can see that same picture right there. Okay, I'm going to put the steps on my paper, and I'm going to come and check in to see if anybody needs help getting that in their calculator. So the steps, once you have it graphed, you're going to press second trace. And this time we want to find the zero. And the zero is choice 2. It's going to ask you to move your cursor to a point to the left. So here is a point to the left of the zero.
Wait, we're entering zero and we
Yeah, it's going to ask, I'm going to show you in a moment. I just need to check in with everybody. So it's going to ask you to find a point on the left, press enter. Find a point on the right, press enter, and then for guess, you move close to the answer and you press enter. I will show you that momentarily. Let me just do a quick check-in. Going back to your calculator, we're trying to find the zero over here on the right side. So I'm going to press second trace. You should also press second trace. And then you're going to choose choice 2, 0, because we're trying to find a zero of the function. Now, I need to move my cursor to the left of the zero. So watch where my cursor goes. I'm using the right arrow, and I moved it right here so that it's to the left of the cursor. Sorry, it's to the left of the 0. Move your cursor there.
Just,
So it says left bound, and it wants me to put it to the left of the 0. So I'm going to put it there and press enter 1 time. Then it says right bound, so I use the right arrow to move it there, and I press enter 1 time.
mine is going lower.
Yeah, it goes lower and to the right because it's still on the curve.
No, lower than yours.
Oh, that's fine. As long as it's to the right, you're good. So I'm going to press enter 1 time. For guess, it wants you to move close, and you can't actually get that close. So I tried to move closer, but it's fine. Press enter again. And then you should get this. It says 0.6698, etc. I'm going to round that to 0.67. So on my paper, it says how far does he enter the water? And he enters the water 0.67. And I need to find my units, meters. So if the rocks only go a half meter and he dives in 0.67 meters away, is he good? Probably. He might scrape himself if he's got like his arms flailing out or something, but he's probably good. Okay. All right. If you got lost on that, I did record it. You don't need that to do the next part. So if you got lost on that, still pick up that calculator. We're going to do the next point, the highest point on his dive. The highest point is at the vertex, which on your calculator is called the maximum. Okay, so we're trying to find the highest point. So I'm going back to my calculator, and I'm going to press second trace again. I'm writing that on the paper. I know you can't see it at the moment, but I'll let you see it in a minute. Second trace. What do you guys think we're going to choose? Maximum. Good. Which is choice 4. 4 maximum. So I'm going to choose 4. Now, it wants me to go to the left of the maximum. So use your cursor and move it to the left of the maximum. It doesn't have to be right to the left as long as it's somewhere to the left. So on the left of the maximum, press enter 1 time. Then go to the right of the maximum. Press enter 1 time, and it says guess, and you go to the middle, and you press enter again.
Like go to the maximum.
Uh-huh. All right, so I have 2 numbers. I have 0.125, and I have 4.75. Which of those do you think is how high he went? What was the highest point of his dive, the X or the Y? The Y. Good. The X is the time. So after 0.125 seconds, he reached that height of 4.75. So our answer was 4.75 meters. And then after you did second trace maximum, you went to the left, you went to the right, and then you went to the middle. And you got this. How high was his original position on the cliff?
Wait,
So
do we not need the X?
this question didn't ask you for it, but it could. If it asked you how long it took him to get there, then you would put that one down. All right, how high was his original position on the cliff? So the cliff is right here. So we're actually trying to find the y-intercept. That is not something in the second trace menu, but we can find it in the table. So if you press second graph, you can look at the table. Notice that when you have your y-intercept, the x value is 0. Okay, so we're looking in the table for where the x value is 0. So open your calculator, press second graph, and where it says 0, I can see my y value is 4.5. So that would be, he started a height of 4.5 meters. So this is what I saw in the table.
So
So-
we're looking for the Y value when X is 0.
Exactly. So his original position is 4.5 meters. All right, so I'm gonna put this equation in the calculator. Press your y equals if you haven't already, and you can clear out what's in there, or you can keep the negative 16x squared, because that part didn't change, plus 24x, and then plus 5. And I have an extra 5. Oh, darn it, I cleared the whole thing. Negative 16x squared plus 24x plus 5. All right, so you'll graph it, and I'm trying to find the maximum, which I can't see. If you also can't see the maximum, try zoom out. Hit zoom, choose 3, and then press enter 1 time. So that did definitely zoom me out. You can also adjust your window by hand by pressing window over here, okay? All right, I'm kind of a lot zoomed out, but it's okay, I'll make it work. So I'm gonna find the maximum now, so I do second trace, maximum, which is choice 4. And I need to be on the left of the maximum. So right now I can't tell if I'm to the left or not, so I'm gonna go stay where I was. That's on the left, press enter. Use your right arrow to get to the right of the maximum and press enter. And then try to get close to the maximum and press enter. And so I get this 0.75 comma 14. You guys get that? Okay. So on your paper, the 0.75 this time is the time. So how long does it take? It takes 0.75 seconds. And how high does it go? It goes 14 feet. Who has a question about that first one? We had to find the maximum. The next one's a little bit different, because the next one asks you not about a maximum or a 0, but about a time when it's 2 feet off the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to put y equals 2 feet into the second y, into y2 on your calculator. So on your calculator, go to y equals, and in y2, you're going to put y equals 2. I want to go back to my standard window, so I'm going to do zoom standard, so I can see a little bit more clearly. Here's my y equals 2 line, and then here's the path of the ball, and right here is where the ball is caught, 2 feet off the ground. I want to know where my parabola and my line intersect, so I'm going to do second calc intersect. Second, and then trace, which has calc above it, and then intersect is 5. Okay, I need to find the solution on the right, so I'll press enter 2 times, and then I'm going to move my cursor over to that second solution, and then press enter a 3rd time. And so I'm seeing it takes about 1.6 seconds. Okay. That'll be enough for today. I'm going to write your domain and range down now.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now please be seated for the moment of silence. Thank you. And now for our second masked singer of the week. As soon as you think you know who our masked singer is, call into the activities office at 715-45.